Rewinding Kaya FM on FM Rewind.
And joining me in the studio is Confidence Seleme. He joined us last week to talk about the start of the year, how to make goals and get yourself ready, set, and steady to go for the year 2020. Confidence, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Yes, we're glad to have you here. And I was inspired last week. I felt like, you know what, I'm ready. I can take on new goals and take on new things. Right. And today you're talking about something I suppose that's very important, and that sort of segues into what we were talking about last week, talking about, you know, being able to sacrifice for those dreams. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, for me, it's a continuation because whatever goal you have, there are sacrifices that you have to make. And, you know, I liken life to a supermarket. When you go into a supermarket, there are all kinds of choices you have. Bread there's juice, there's, you know, whatever you could think of, it's available in the supermarket. But at every product, if you look underneath, there's always a price attached. Life is exactly the same way. You can go in there. If you want bread, for example, when you go to the till, they're going to ask you for some money. There's a price that you have to pay. In life, if you pick entrepreneurship, if you pick a marriage, if you want to be, you know, a good wife, a good husband, if you want to go to school, if you want, you know, that promotion at work, there's always a price attached. You know, whatever you pick, you have to pay for it. Yeah.
There's nothing Yamaha.
There's nothing Yamaha. It's not pick and go, you know. Whatever you pick, you have to pay for. So there's always a price attached. And today I want to talk about 3 kinds of prices that, you know, whatever dream you have, there are those prices that you have to pay. The first price you have to pay is the price of time. The price of time. You know, there's only 2 things that you can really do with your time. You can either spend it or invest it. And, you know, people who are always spending go broke. It is exactly the same way with your time. If you're always spending time, you know, they say the average adult spends about 5 to 6 hours of their time watching TV. That's spending. You're spending.
You're not doing anything constructive.
You're not doing anything that will give you a return. The beautiful thing about investing is that at a particular time, you know that there's a return that will come. What I've invested, I'm going to harvest. You know, even farmers will tell you, when harvest time comes, it's not everybody that reaps. It's those who have been sowing when it was time to sow. Just because it's harvest time doesn't mean you're going to harvest. It depends on what you have been sowing. What have you been working? Just because at work it's time for promotions, it doesn't mean you're going to get promoted. It depends on the way. Have you been putting in the hours? Have you been going the extra mile? Have you been going to school to study so that you have the credentials now to get access to that higher position? So just because it's harvest time doesn't mean you're going to harvest. You have to have been sowing in the time when people were sowing. So the first price you have to pay is the price of time. What are you doing with your time? Are you spending it, or are you investing it? And that will determine the results that you get at the end. The second price you're going to have to pay is the price of talent. The price of talent. Each and every one of us are talented, but we get our talents in raw form, as raw materials. Think of it like this. Think of when miners go underground to get gold. When they excavate and they bring up the gold, it looks nothing like gold. It looks like rocks and soil. It's black. It looks nothing like gold. It looks nothing like the final product, but there is gold. That's why they went down there. That gold ore has to go through a process. It has to go through the furnace. It has to be separated from impurities. And our talents are the same way. You've got talents, but maybe you have habits, bad habits that are keeping your talent in the form, in the raw form where it's not refined. Maybe there are bad habits that you have. Maybe you know that there are certain people that, you know, you're always with that don't speak positively about your talent, people that are not encouraging, people that are not, you know, are not motivating to become a better version of yourself. Maybe you're always procrastinating. Maybe you know that, you know, you've got a talent in this particular sector, and you know that if you went and did a course, a 3-month course, a 1-year course, a 2-year course, you'll be refining that talent, and you get opportunities that you will not have when your talent is still in the raw form. You know, even when you go to the marketplace, if you have gold ore and you have pure gold, they'll always pay more for the pure gold. It's refined. So our talents are exactly the same way. If you have a talent of singing, go to the rehearsals, look for a singing coach.
Voice coach, look for something.
Exactly. Refine your talent so that it becomes pure gold. Because when it's pure gold, the market will always pay more for your talent. So the second price you have to pay is the price of talent. And your talent is given to you in raw form. Your responsibility
is to refine it.
To refine it so that it becomes the best it can be, so that when you go to the marketplace, you can get what you're worth.
Okay.
That's the second price. The third price is the price of commitment. The price of commitment. You know, a lot of people claim to be committed, but we only see commitment in what you do. Commitment shows up in consistency. You know, if you were to go to the gym, for example, you'll always see different kinds of people there, but there are people there who have 6 and 8 packs and muscles in places that you don't know
shouldn't have
muscles. But those people are consistent in going to the gym. Monday they're there, Tuesday they're there, Wednesday they're there, Thursday, Friday they're there. They are consistent, and that's why they get results. If you go there Monday and then 2 weeks go by, and then you go there on a Tuesday, another week goes by, you will not get results. Life is exactly the same way. If you say you want that promotion at work, if you want your business to excel and go to the next level, there's a price of commitment. You have to be consistently marketing. You have to be consistently reading up on your sector. You have to be consistently putting in the extra hours. So your consistency proves your commitment, and your commitment is what will get you results.
Okay.
So the 3 prices you have to pay. Firstly, the price of time. Are you spending it or are you investing it? Secondly, the price of talent. Are you keeping it in the raw form or are you refining it? Excuse me. The third price is the price of commitment. Commitment is proven in consistency. Those are the demands of a dream.
Okay, so those are the 3 demands of a dream. I think we are all listening and we are taking notes.
Thank you.
And I like the one about talent, raw talent, because a lot of people reckon that, they can ride on the talent.
And you know what, ne? Some of the most talented people are the least hardworking people. And they ride on their talent, and they think that, just because I'm talented, it doesn't mean I have to put in the extra work. But imagine if you are a level 6 and you're just riding on talent, it means that you can go to level 10 if you put in the work. It's one of the saddest things. I mean, even in sports, there are a lot of sports people, in soccer especially, there are a lot of people who are so talented that, they feel they don't have to come to
much. They don't have to come to practice.
Exactly. Even in organizations, there are people who, whether it's in finance, whether it's in the creative sector, there are people that are so talented that, they're able to disguise hard work with talent. And people think they work hard. Meanwhile, they're just talented. But if you are that talented, it means that there's a certain level that you're supposed to reach. There's a certain level that if you add hard work to your talent, you'll go places that you've never been. You'll go places that you haven't dreamt of even. Look at somebody like Trevor Noah, for example. He's talented. He can ride on his talent, but if you look at his content, you can see this person researches.
The work that goes in there.
Exactly. He puts in the work, he adds it to the talent, and look where he is. So you can ride your talent, but if you add hard work to it, you'll go to greater levels.
Then you become even greater. Thank you so much for joining us, Confidence.
Wonderful, my
and
pleasure.
giving us those pearls of wisdom and those wise words again.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll see you next week.
I'll definitely be here.
Yeah, and we'll be talking, and getting us inspired, getting us, ready to take on the week, to take on a brand new day.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rewinding Kaya FM on FM Rewind. Visit kayafm.co.za for more.